Hello, hello, hello to all of you out there in the multiverse. So, here we are in another podcast episode of the Rather Late programme with Bash Dinsmore. So, this week we have a Scottish guest, so I will be doing my lovely natural accent for this one. And just to clarify for you fuckers who argue with me about this, I do the English accent because that's the vibe of the show, and also because I live in England now, and I've lived here for most of my life, so I have two accents, which is great, but then, I'm an actor, so I have to have many accents, otherwise I can't do character acting, and I would just be fired on the spot. So, so first things first, I'm going to do a wee plug for a film that has just come out, an audio film on the Dinsmore Films YouTube page. It is called Seiken United, and a lot of you have been waiting for this one since 2017. So, that one's now out. It's about 40 minutes. And yes, it is a rip-off of Infinity War from the MCU. And most of the Seiken films are a rip-off of the MCU, but this one is even more so because I stole the music without copyright. So if I get sued or shot by the Marvel snipers, then you know where I've gone. Anyway, that's me rambling yet again. Today's guest is Mhairi Henley, and hopefully I've pronounced that correctly for the first time. Lovely. So she is an actress studying at GLA in Scotland. So she portrays the character of Rosie Williams in Protectors of Time, which is my niche little audio show. So let's say hello to Mhairi.
Hi.
So, first things first. How are we? How are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Aye, not bad. Getting there, I'm going a bit doolally, I'm going mad.
Born in my mind.
Man, my laptop charger has stopped working. So, my laptop is dead. And I've ordered a new laptop charger, but I've got to wait for like 5 to 10 days for it to come. So, I'm a bit out in the woods here. It's weird for me, because...
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh man, if I'm not performing, acting, or singing or whatever, I'm probably, most likely, writing scripts.
Yeah.
And now I can't write scripts, so I'm on a proper hiatus, man. It's nice that I've got a holiday, but it's shite that I'm not. I'm just sitting here, just like.
Oh wow.
Anyway, so So what do you think about the circumstance that we are in right now? The lovely COVID-19 coronavirus.
Oh, just a bit rubbish, isn't it?
Oh, aye, indeed. It's it's a wee bit shite.
I know. It's I was wasn't scared of it till I came home.
Yeah.
My dad, he's very on top of it. He's been keeping a graph since it all started.
Aye.
Plotting out everything. So.
Good man. I've been staying well away.
So, yeah.
Fair enough. I've been. I've been ignoring it. Just sitting in my room, just like just let me out. Let me bloody out. Let me see my pals. I'm going bonkers. I am going nuts. I probably will not have a brain in 2 weeks. Oh man. Honestly, and it's just shite. I remember in the last podcast that I did with my pals Sam, Peter, and Harry. I was saying the first thing I'm going to do when Bozza or whoever gives us the go-ahead to start gradually going back into public life, I'm going to release the gif of Mel Gibson. Freedom! You know, I'm just going to... I want a freedom.
Yeah.
I want that out. Stereotypical as it is.
I know.
I want it out.
The pub. I just want the pub.
Oh, man. I want to go... I need a drink, you know. All I've been doing in the house is drinking tap water and tea, you know.
Yeah.
I miss booze, you know. And, yeah, oh, man, it's just crap.
I've had to come home, obviously, to my parents because they didn't want me stuck in Glasgow.
Sure.
And so I couldn't actually get all of my booze in my bags.
So you've left some there?
I know, there's like a bunch of gin and vodka and everything sitting in my flat just waiting to be drunk, and it's a nightmare.
They're calling to you, calling in the night.
I know.
I miss you. Oh, man. Yeah, you'll be fucking steaming if that actually happens. Anyway, yeah, so the situation is not the best.
It's not ideal, no, but I think, you know, as long as we're all staying inside, it'll be over before we know it, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Right enough. You know, yeah, as long as people stay the fuck inside, then hopefully it should work. Yeah, I've seen so many tweets on Twitter just over the weekend about, you know, Easter, and it's just like, especially from celebrities in the UK, and I'm just like scrolling through it, and every one of them, Happy Easter, he has risen, stay the fuck inside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good for you. I love that shit. Oh, right. So, let's get into the main topics for today's podcast. So, I'm just going to scribble out the introduction. So, yeah, as I said, you are an actress studying at GLA in Scotland. So, let's talk about that. What's it like at GLA? Tell the English bastards who are listening what GLA is.
Well, I'm studying at Glasgow Kelvin College, which is just one of the colleges in Glasgow. But I love it. I love Glasgow. I always have loved Glasgow. One of my favourite places.
Big up Glasgow.
I know. So getting to kind of stay there and, you know, study what I've always wanted to study has been really, really, like, enjoy it. Like, I love it. And I've ended up with a really good group of, like, friends and all sorts.
Nice.
I wouldn't have had if I hadn't gone there, so...
No, of course. If you didn't go to GLA, though, where would you have gone for acting or whatever? Would you gone to RADA or...
I'd applied to Edinburgh College, PATS, which is where Karen Gillan went.
Oh, yeah,
I did actually get an offer for there, but it was a lower level than what Glasgow had offered me, so...
Sure.
And I'd
Fuck
also
you, Edinburgh. I'm going to Glasgow.
I'm going to Glasgow.
Yeah, of course.
But I'd also applied for the local college to do musical theatre.
Sure.
I didn't get in because I was so nervous on my audition. But musical theatre wasn't something I'd really wanted to do. That was just a kind of backup in case.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I didn't want to move away because, you know, Glasgow's a wee bit away from where I stay. But I got into Glasgow and I went with it and I'm really happy I did.
Oh man, so, Glasgow's the best city in the world.
It really is.
Says the man from Port Glasgow. Which is completely different. Oh man. So, yeah, I do have to say though, next time I'm back home in Glasgow, I owe you like £4. Or just, you know, a bottle of whiskey at this stage.
We're holding you to that one.
Yeah, you and Alice, like, I've forced some people into it, and they're like, oh no, we'll help you on your journey. And you're like, you better give me my booze. I'm like, yeah, right enough. Yeah, I know. So, I owe you a few...
We're so Scottish that you have to get alcohol.
Right enough, but that's what I love about it, because, you know, if I owe you pints, then we can have a chat and talk about shit. Which would be nice, because
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, because most of the stuff you're doing for me is voice work, so I mainly either
Yeah.
do voice notes with you or do a little call like this, and
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah, no, it would be actually good to see you in person.
Face to face, so it would be nice.
meet meet your co-star and showrunner at the same time. It's
Yeah.
there's not many shows which actually haven't met their boss, so so that's crazy. My God, I'm drinking so much water, these podcasts. I hope you people are enjoying these, because I do them because I'm bored. Anyway, so let's talk about how we met. We met through your pal called Emily. And yeah, so what kind of happened from my point of view is I was starting to get the show Protectors of Time on the road, and I needed to cast Rosie Williams, who was a one of the main characters, and she is a physicist and all round badass. Yeah, so the character was originally planned to be English, actually, but I needed an actress to play her, and I got one actress who did it for about 3 episodes, and they used an American accent because they're an American. So I was like, right, character's American now, let's live with it. And I moved on, and then I found, I sent a message to this group of actors that I was part of on Instagram, and I think Emily was one of the people I messaged, and she replied back saying, audio's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But I'll send a message to my uni sort of chat and see if anyone's interested. And I was like,
Yeah.
sound. So then I got 2 responses, one from you and one from somebody called Alice, and I am recording a podcast with her tomorrow. Yeah, so sorry for repetition, people at home, because it's exactly the same podcast, just with a different guest. So I got a response from you two, and I cast you because I thought you were better as Rosie, but she sounded not. I was gonna say she sounded more sinister. I was gonna say she sounded more sinister and evil, and I was like, take that back. And no, she just she had a voice. Her American accent had a certain thing to it, and I thought that would be good for Nora Thomas, who's a sorceress.
All around.
Yeah,
cool.
all around evil badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, eventually throughout the series, she'll have her own story, and she'll join the main cast in season 3 when something different happens to you. Spoilers. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, no, I was looking through the cast sheet for that season on my phone, and I was scrolling through it, and she ends up actually next to your name, so fair enough. So you get to be together, pals for life, and all that.
Fantastic.
So, so we met through Emily. And really what I want to just chat about and ask and find out is what made you want to be part of my shitty project? Like, what you saw it? I'm assuming she sent a screenshot or something.
Yes, she sent a screenshot of the message you'd sent her into our class chat, and was like, I've had this thing through, but it's not the kind of thing I'm really interested in. Was just wondering if anyone was interested, and so I kind of was like, I was like,
you better be.
I was like, I'll do it. No, so I was like, you know, experience is never a bad thing.
No, of course.
So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to email, even if I don't get the part, I've tried.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if I do, then it's, you know, something else I can say I've done.
Sure.
As like
and
a bit of
now you're signed on for life.
And now I'm here for life. So, but like, you know, I was like, I've got nothing to lose.
Sure, yeah. Nobody watches my shit anyway.
So
apart
like,
from
you know
your
what,
parents, actually.
Yes,
That's
my
where
mum
you
and
said
dad
your
follow
parents
you on
listen. So
Instagram, I'm pretty
good
sure.
for them. Thank you. Shout out to them if you want to say their names.
Shout out mum and dad.
Shout out to them.
But,
Will they
yeah,
listen to this as well?
They might. I don't know.
Oh my god.
But they were like, you know, I was like, I've got nothing to lose, so I was like, I'm just going to go for it, and got the part. And I was, you know, I was really pleased because it's just a bit of experience and stuff.
Sure.
So, you know.
And now she has signed a deal with the devil, and she's
not
allowed to escape.
My soul away.
Yeah. Sorry about that, love. Yeah. So. Yeah, because I've got a plan for multiple seasons. Oh, I'm so far ahead. I started writing this in 2016, man, and then never had the right sort of cast, and then back in December I was like, right, let's do it, we're ready. And then I was like, keep writing scripts. Oh, 4 seasons later, I'm like, not all of them will want to do this forever, but I don't care. Yeah, no, I didn't take into account some people might want to leave, so if that ever happens, I'll have to rewrite the entire series. Yeah, no, I've but it's a show about changing things around. It's not always going to be the same cast, you know. It's season 2, some things happen to some people, including yourself, which is a little bit of a change, and then we get some new characters, which is a bit more of a change, and then season 3, another change with you, and you know, it's it's a rotating cast, as I call it. It's no one's bound to it. No one's you know, got to stay forever. No one's got to stay for like 1 episode, unless they're a guest actor. But yeah, so it's a rotating cast, and you know, I kill myself every other season. You know, I've yeah. It's a rotating cast, and I kill myself in 1 season, and then I'm right, new character. Oh, right, new character. Old character comes back to like, oh, right, this is good. Oh, man.
I'm bored of you now. You can die.
I'm gonna play millions of people by the end of this. Yeah. But season 2 will be a little bit of a change. There's 3 characters who won't be returning as main characters.
Not that we can name names.
Not that we can name names. But there are 3 actors. I've told 2 of you. One of you doesn't know yet because his departure is quite shitly written.
Still working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, I gave that episode to a pal of mine to write, who's actually another main cast member.
Right.
And he wrote the script, and I was like, it's sweet, it's sound, but you can't do this with this character. Like, make him leave it a different way, man. Like, oh no, I mean, I won't tell you which character snuffs it, but it's the character in that episode who dies, just simply written, he dies. It's like there's no fanfare. There's no, like, unlike a couple of characters halfway through season 2 who disappear or like leave the show. There's a fanfare. There's a big sad moment where everyone's like, oh, that's gutting, they're going, oh no. Whereas this character he snuffs it, and no one says shit. Apart from me with one line, apparently, who says, oh, poor, poor blah blah, such a shame. And it's just like, Oh man,
That's brutal. That's
yeah,
brutal.
yeah. I went back to him and I was like, "Yo, you." I was genuinely worried. I was like, "Yo, you okay? Do you, is there something against this actor that you don't like about him? Like,
I just want them gone. I just want them gone.
yeah, I don't like them. I want them gone." No, it's no. He simply said that there was a character that needed some motivation, so the only way that that character would get motivation is for this character to die. And I was like,
Right.
I was like,
Yeah,
well, that's fine, but it's a bit of a shit show.
It's sad, you know?
Yeah, just like...
Give them a bit of a send-off.
Yeah, there's not even, last lines or anything. It's just shot and dead. And
ouch.
It's just like, God damn it. And, like, I read the script, and apparently the guy only has 2 lines in the episode, and I'm like... So he only has 2 lines in the start of the episode, but he dies at the end of the episode. That's not right. So I might have to go over and re-edit that.
Oh dear.
In terms of script, don't want to do him dirty or anything. But no, like all the people who do die and disappear and leave the show, there's always chance for them to come back as special guest stars or whatever. There's
character,
different character. We've got the multiverse. We have family. We have time travel. It's a world at our feet.
Exactly.
Anyway, so speaking more about Protectors of Time, you are the amazing Rosie Williams.
I am.
So tell us what you enjoy about voicing your character, if you enjoy it at all. Because most of my mates don't enjoy it.
I think she's just... she's just such a cool character, because, like, she's not... You're kind of... A lot of the time with things like this, your female characters are so, like, one-dimensional and, like, don't have any layers. But she's a physicist, and she's a time traveler, and she's, like... she's smart, and she's cool, and... I think that's just, like, that's the kind of character I love.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
She's also fucking funny. I've realised that me and the other writers of the show have written her in a way that she's quite funny occasionally. Like, she's not a comedian or anything, but like, there's the occasional one-liner, and she's just like, just snaps you. Like, in the final episode of the first half of season 1, because we're on a hiatus at the moment. There's a scene.
I'm kind of like, there's like...
Congratulations, by the way, because you are engaged now.
I know.
To lovely Tom Brown, who is voiced by Ryan Hemingway. So, I fucking love that scene. Basically, it's just like, did I write that episode? I think I did. I wrote that episode, and it was I did. It was the musical episode. I wrote that. So at the end of the musical, it's like you and my character have been in this dream world with the musical and stuff like that, and during that time away from the team, we all go through our own shit in our minds, and we're like, we need to focus on sorting our lives out, and then make things clear to us. And anyway, I come out feeling a bit more depressed. You come out feeling a bit more strong, and then Ryan's character Tom comes in, and there was supposed to be an episode before the musical episode, which never got written because the writer is still writing it. So I'm going to put it in season 2 and put it in somewhere there. But it's an episode which only features Ryan's character in the main cast, and then a ton of guest stars, but only him as the main cast. So so it's only him, and then so the whole episode rides on his shoulders. But yeah, so it's an episode where he goes back in time to try and prevent the death of a friend who's dead, but it doesn't work out. So anyway, he goes through all this shit, and he finally realizes that time is supposed to fold in a certain way. So so he goes and comes back, and he realizes what's most important to him. And what that is, or who that is Rosie. And he comes back, and he's like, "Yo, I hear you've were whammied by a guy called the Music Maestro," and you were like, "Yeah, for sure." And he was like, "That was fucking weird," and you were like, "Yeah, it was nuts." And then you're like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And he was like, "Oh, I had to say goodbye to a friend," and so it's all sort of stuff like that. And then he's just like, "Yo, it's like I've been defined by my past," and he talks about shit about his past, and then he's like, "I don't know what's ahead of me, I don't know what the future's like, but all I care about is the here and the now." And there's not been really anything substantial in your relationship so far. It's just you've been, as I wrote in the episode, seeing how things go or seeing things out, and you just play it about, and he finally says, and he finally says, "Look, I just want you in my life and my future, and would you do me the honour of marrying me?" And you say, "No." It's just like, nah. It's just like, bitch ass bullshit. Ryan has this thing in every contract that he does with me now. He has a clause where he has to say his favourite catchphrases from GTA 5. So his favourite character is Franklin, and he's got to say bitch ass bullshit, for show, and fucking A right. And all three are imported into my Seiken films and the Protectors of Time show. And so yeah, he's always he always gets those lines now because it's contracted. Which I don't know why I ever agreed to signing, but yeah, so he's like, bitch ass bullshit, say what? And you're just like, "Oh no, I'm joking, of course I'm mad at you. Just wanted to see your reaction." And it's like she's not trying to be funny, but it was fucking funny for the audience. So just wanted to see his reaction really, and just like, "Oh, fine, bitch, I'll move on." Oh, I love that. Yeah, do you ever find that in certain scripts? I mean, I don't write all of them, so I don't really know about it until the episode comes out. But sorry, if there's a particular line that's not supposed to be funny, but it comes out funny once you hear it back, do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about certain lines that might be different if you did it differently?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm recording them, I try like different things and like stressing words slightly differently. I think there was a couple of lines in like the episode that's coming out this week.
Nice.
Where I was like, oh, if I say that this way, it could be quite funny, or if I stress this word, it's, when it just changes how it's all said. But sometimes I do. I'm like, I'll read through and I'll go, oh, actually, that's quite funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's meant to be, but like just in the context.
Of no. You never think things are supposed to be funny, but if they come out comedic, then it's always a bonus. Did you just damage your table? Is that what you were?
No, I just knocked something over. Sorry.
I was just like, ooh, what's she done? She's like, oh shit. I was like, oh no, what's happened now? The whole house is on fire. I knocked my lighter over. Your lighter? Yes, I'm drinking oil. Oh my god, is that how shit my films have become? Who knows? Yeah, so Protected Time, you are one, I mean, aside from me, you are a actor on the show who will be there forever. No, it's, I think at the moment there's about 5 or 6 of you in the main cast in season 1, and all I remember saying when writing the episode that some of you leave the show in is 6 of you arrived, only 2 shall leave. It's just like, oh, I just find that funny. Yeah, so you and myself are two very very special sort of parts of the show in a way, because I kill myself every season, and I'm not sure if that's a call for help or not. And it's not, don't worry, I'm not depressed anymore. I mean, you know, occasionally. Part-time. Thursday afternoons. It comes in spurts. What am I even talking about? No, it's, yeah, I love this show, and I love doing it, and I want to keep doing it. But at the same time, if things stay the same, which is why the cast is always rotating, which is why it's changing, so nothing's ever going to get boring. It's always, you know, something different.
Something different, yeah.
Exactly. So I find that if I play the same character for too long, then I'll get bored of that character and I want to do something else. I don't necessarily want to leave the show, but I want to, you know, do other things because it gets boring. So I decided to introduce the multiverse and play different versions of myself throughout, you know, different arcs. And you and me get that sort of thing where in season 2, about halfway through, I think episode 9, you leave the show as a main character for the second half of the season 2. You come back as a special guest star every now and then, but for the end of season 2, that latter half, you're not going to be in it as a main character. So
change it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, it's a change. But a lot of people who have seen the shows have specifically said that they love Rosie as a as a character, and I was like, well, too bad, because she's not going to be around for much longer. And and they're like, well, fuck you. And I'm like, okay.
Ripped a favourite away.
Yeah, no, Rosie's a badass, and she'll come back throughout the seasons. Don't you worry. You'll be playing 2 characters in the future occasionally, but yeah, because I do have bursts of guilt, and I mean, there is so Ryan, who plays Tom, also plays a guy called Henry in the Seiken sort of films that I do, and spoilers, but his character in the next film, something happens to him, and he does return in future films, but he's not going to be a main character anymore. And it's just like, because he's still got, what is it, 5 films in his contract? he's got his own solo film, and then he's got, you know, bit parts in the 4 others that I'll make him go into. But yeah, no, something happens to other characters that affect him, and he's just like, he's sort of done by the end of it, and he's just like, look, I don't want to be part of this sort of shitty world anymore. Anyway, so something happens that makes Henry leave, but Ryan was like, oh, come on, man, I love playing him, he's great, you know. So Ryan's like, I was like, nah, sorry, man, he's gone, he's done, he's finished, his story's over. And then a year after I wrote that film, I was like, oh, he's just fucking guilt tripped me in it, and now he gets to play Henry and Tom in season 2 and 3 of Protectors of Time. So I've just been duped in it. I'm just, oh, fuck's sake. So yeah, no, I caved and allowed him to play Henry and Tom in season 2 and 3. So that's interesting.
Us actors we're so needy, aren't we?
Well,
yes,
as one myself, because, you know, I start off as a musician, but now I'm doing all this stuff like writing and directing.
Yeah.
And acting is still the thing I do most.
Yeah.
I try and focus on my music as much as I can, because that's where I started, but acting's the
Yeah.
stuff that I do the most. And yeah, I'm fucking needy and vain, you know, it's just
Oh,
like,
I know.
man,
I have such an like I have
oh
my
my god,
such an
it's,
it's really bad.
yeah, oh mate, it's just, I don't know what it's, I don't know what it is, it's just like, I have a podcast that I do, this talk show, and it's like, what should I... Oh, let's just put my name in it. Why the
Put my name in
fuck
it.
not? And now I've got a show with my name in it, and I'm just like, how fucking vain am I?
At least it's not just like you've got Ellen. Her TV show is Ellen.
Oh my god, yeah, no, I mean...
that bad?
Oh my god, could you imagine a show just with my name? Fuck, you know, I'd be hung, drawn and quartered. Probably shot. Or shivved. Yeah, no, I would never... I mean, the thing is, I actually would love to do a talk show.
Yeah.
As much as I love doing all the acting and stuff, I think talk shows could be fun, but
Yeah.
I'd never like to do, I'd never like to do one for as long as the talk shows do theirs. Like, they do every night for
Every night, yeah.
Monday to Friday, excluding weekends. They film every day, and look, it's not a bad job, it's just, if you do your talk show, the only thing you can do acting-wise is really voice stuff like I'm doing now. It's like, you can't do any live action stuff. Which is a bit gutting, because I love doing that. And the only reason I'm not doing most of it at the moment is because I'm at uni. Yeah, so, yeah, fucking talk shows. Fucking actors.
Oh, I know.
They're the worst. No, I'm joking. I love us. So, moving on from... No, actually, I'm gonna keep talking about Protectors of Time for a bit.
Yeah.
So, you are Rosie in this season, and you sort of had no choice in the accent because the other actress did an American accent.
Yeah.
So I was like, just continuity, keep it the same, don't change it up, otherwise everyone thinks it's a different person.
Yeah.
Even though it is a different actress, it's the same character, so it's not, you know.
Yeah. Keeping the accent same is probably the best way.
So, what do you how do you find doing the American accent? Do you enjoy it? Do you find it hard? Do you want to shoot yourself every time you speak? Like,
American is one I find the easiest. I think it's one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I watched a lot of like Scooby Doo.
Oh my god.
Like it's really like a lot of kind of American TV when I was growing up. My mum says.
For for the people at home, I just showed her one of our posters, which is Scooby Doo.
You know, I kind of my mum says that you know, one of my flatmates, she struggles with an American, and it's something that's so natural to me. And my mum says it's because I spent my formative years binging Scooby Doo.
I love that.
But you know, I dressed up as Daphne for like Halloween, like every year of my life, basically.
Did you do it last year?
I didn't last year for Halloween. I had our last day at school. We do like a muck-up day, so we all get to come and dress
everyone loves
up
the muck-up day.
You know, so we went to Scooby Doo. So we had, there was only three of us. So we had Daphne, Velma, and a ghost.
Oh my god!
I was Daphne for our muck-up day.
What sort of stuff did your school do at muck-up day? What sort of evil tricks did they pull? Because I've got a story to tell about the school next to mine, which is fucking hilarious.
It used to be really, really like funny. Like there was one year, like our locker room got completely trashed one year.
Right.
Like flour and water and like sprinkles and just shit everywhere. And they released balloons with rape alarms attached to them into the canteen.
Oh, that's
and
jokes.
the canteen ceiling is so high up that they couldn't get them down.
We've had a couple of those.
Yeah, but this year group took it way too far, and so they've been really, really strict with it. So we were having like water guns and stuff taken off of us, cans of silly string. So it was a bit shit. But it was still like a good day, you know?
We had a teacher who kept I can't remember if it was a BB gun or a paintball gun, but he kept one in his desk drawer. And the kids were, the kids, they were the year older at the time. And they let go of these balloons with the rape alarms, and this history teacher just opened his classroom window in the courtyard and shot these balloons and let the alarms just drop and break. And
that's amazing.
It was fucking funny, I kid you not. But I was just like, I thought he was going to shoot up the school. I was like, what the hell is going on? Because this gun genuinely looked like a proper gun that I've seen on sets and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, is it fake? Is it real? What's going on? I thought the teacher had just had enough of the kids. I was just like, these fucking kids. No.
See, we were trying to find like a prop gun for a device piece we were doing at college not that long ago. And we were looking at all these ones, and we were like trying to find one that looked like semi-realistic and stuff. And you couldn't get any of them without like a license because they look real. Things
sure.
Real. So it was an absolute nightmare, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, God. Oh my God, there was the school next door to us had the best muck-up days. I remember. So my school was next to another school, and this school called Tech. That's where both schools lined up for the buses. So we lined up on one of their playgrounds, and this kid who was in year 11, because muck-up day is not the end of the year, it's the end of classes. You've still got to come in and do your exams. Ours was our 6th year's last day, because we'd go off on exam leave the next day. And you go off on study leave, So muck-up day was the last day in school. So he was still part of the school after muck-up day. So I remember he baked a cake, right? And he took it up to the deputy head of his school, and I was, in this line at the bus stop. And this kid just like, sir, I've been a right pain in the arse this year. Have a cake on me.
Oh, God.
And this teacher was like, oh my God, like, look, you were gobshite, but like, you weren't that bad, I managed you. And he was like, oh, that's nice to hear. And then he dumped his hand in the cake and whipped out this full salmon and just slapped the deputy head across the cheek and ran off. And this salmon was stuck to the side of the deputy head's face.
Oh, no
and,
way.
and this kid just bolted. Oh, man, it was so fucking funny, but it was so bad because he got expelled the next day.
I was going to say, we had because they were like, you're still part of the school, like, we can phone police, and like, our head teacher, like, had just changed in the October.
Yeah.
When I was in 6th year, and it was like he was really against it because it was a tradition, and like we were all kicking off about it. They were like, no, you're not getting it, and the 6th year's just kicked off, and they were like, right, you can have it. But like he was so strict about it. Like we had like teachers following us around all day, taking things off of us. It was so rubbish. If anything like that, like police were being called if that had happened at our school.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you have a range of things at mine. I mean, some people put laxatives in the water fountains. Which were, I mean, it was...
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean... I never had that. I always had bottled water from home, but... yeah, so poor fuckers who had that. But, I mean...
that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was like the rape alarm stuff, the laxatives. It wasn't too bad. But the school next door had some fucked up shit, as I said, and the slap in the face with a salmon. Poor bastard stood there for 5 minutes with another teacher trying to peel it off his face.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, it was so fucking funny.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, man. I fucking love mock-up day. Yeah, our mock-up day was cancelled, I think, because... Yeah, on our mock-up day we had an assembly, which was, the final assembly for the year 11s. And it was just like, they did the assembly, and then someone pulled the fire alarm, and and then they were like, just go home, don't need to be here. And I was like, right, okay, sweet, so mock-up day's fucking done, great. So yeah, that was a shit mock-up day.
Yeah, I think we had a couple. We used to, because we would have house assemblies would sometimes fall on the mock-up days, and so you're sitting in your the house that's assembly is that day, and you're like, oh my god, what is going to happen in this assembly? But the 6th years would be told you do not go into these assemblies or anything like that, but you're still just absolutely shitting yourself. I remember the year before, when I was in 5th year, so my second last year, I was supposed to have English, but I wasn't taking English, I was doing a different course.
Sure.
So I was up in the science department, and then had to come back down through the English corridor, and I was getting messages from my friends saying all the 6th years are out in the English corridor, and obviously they're all in the English classrooms, too scared to leave, and so I've got to walk through this big kind of 6th year with water guns and shaving foam and all sorts, and I'm just like, oh my god, what is going to happen?
You should have brought an umbrella.
I know, I should have just, it was quite funny though.
Climb in through the window, do a fucking Assassin's Creed outside and climb in through the window. Oh my god. Biggest
fear of my life.
Oh man. I fucking love mock-up day. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Sidetrack.
Yeah, that's what happens on this show. We just randomly talk about shit. So moving on to just acting in general. So you've done some voice acting for me now for Protectors of Time. You are the running gag in the next film that will be my ever-changing wife of, different voices forever. I love how that's become a gag. It's just what one actress can commit to the next film, and then the first one said, I can't do the sequel, I'm a bit busy, and we were like, okay, recast. And then that one was like, can't do the next one, bit busy, and I was like, okay. And then everyone from that I was just like, look, let's just keep recasting it, let it be a running gag. So
just you, a running
gag. You are my late wife in the next film.
In the next one,
which is fucking funny. I just love it. I find it hilarious. I'll probably get Alice to do the next one after that. Oh my god. Just find random people on the street. Yo, voice my dead wife. What? Oh man. Voice my dead wife. What? Yeah. So, do you enjoy voice acting? I just want to get your thoughts on voice work in general. How do you find it? Do you enjoy it?
It wasn't something I've done before this, but I enjoy it. It's something a bit different because I've done a lot of stage stuff. So it's a bit different than I've done before, and I enjoy it. Just sitting and doing a character, but not like having to
Walk
worry
about
about
and
like
do anything. Oh
remembering
my god.
lines and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I love voice acting. Although I do love live action work, I love doing films. I love doing TV. I love theatre.
Yeah.
And no one can ever make me say a favourite medium that I like best.
Yeah.
But and if they do, then I always say the thing I'm not doing at the time. So if I'm doing theatre, I'll be like, oh, film. If I'm doing film, it'll be like, oh, I haven't done TV in a while. Oh, if I'm doing TV, I'll be like, voice stuff. It's just, it's whatever I'm not doing at the time. I love all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what I do love about voice acting is that I do not have to be up on set at 5 a.m. or, whatever time of the morning, doing a 17-hour day.
Not worrying about costume and
Oh
makeup.
my god,
and
hair and makeup, like...
learn lines and...
Oh my god, yeah. So, not having to worry about that sort of stuff is great, and you can just do it in a booth or, do it at home, and you're just like, oh my god, this is chill. Cup of tea, and you're just like, sweet, let's do it.
Yeah.
Which I always love. And I love doing animated work and voicing in games, which is fun. But I do love the stuff that I'm doing at the moment, the audio stuff, because even though animation is fun, where you still do the same thing as audio stuff, but there's pictures, it's I find the audio stuff just good for people who can like sit down and do fuck all and then listen to it in the background.
It's a bit like like an audiobook.
Yeah.
Like an audiobook. I think
Yeah, which is always good because people can be working and then listening to it in the background.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. So you and I spoke the other day, and I was just curious if you'd done live action film work, and you said you worked on a film for one of your pals which never got released, or never got finished, and which is why it never got released. So what did you think about that?
Well, I know it was a couple of years ago, so I was. When we were doing this film or something, and I worked with her on like pantos and stuff. So
oh my god, pantos.
It was nice getting to work with her. I know it was nice getting to work with her, and like it was just something a bit different I'd never really done before. And like getting to, like we just. So it was quite nice just getting to wander about town with her.
Yeah.
And like her friend, and just film some stuff, and like because it was something that we all enjoyed.
Yeah.
I wish we'd finished it though.
Yeah.
Because the story was good.
Yeah. Whenever I do live action stuff, it's not really professional. I say it's always fun projects with mates, and then if it turns out good, amazing. If it doesn't, then it's for our entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's entertainment, which is fun. And I always love working on those sorts of things. I've got a couple in the pipeline at the moment. One is about me being super depressed, and then no change there. And then the other is self-deprecation. And the other is about something else, which I'm not at liberty to say. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do anything with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they can be short or long feature films, but yeah, it's always fun to do. So let's move on to theatre. The theatre.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you've done quite a few theatre projects, performances.
I have done. I think most of it has been panto. I started our
most of it's
local...
been panto. You poor person.
I know.
I mean, I don't hate panto. I do enjoy it sometimes. It's just I've only ever done 2 in my life.
Right.
My background is musical theatre because I'm a
Mhm.
musician, so I do mostly musicals and then spoken
Yeah.
play. I've only ever done 2 pantos. One was Aladdin, where I played Genie, and I was super camp, and then I fucking loved it.
I've done Aladdin as well.
I
Yeah.
fucking loved it, and just like doing the weird shit where you put your arms out and then
Yeah.
make a wish.
Yeah.
You're like, sweet. And being painted blue was funny.
Yeah.
But then I did what was it? No Cinderella. Was it Cinderella? I don't know. What's the one where she goes to the ball?
Oh, that could be anyone.
Oh my fucking god. The one with the ice slipper.
Yeah, that'll be Cinderella.
That's it. And I was forced into playing one of the twin sisters, and I had to go drag, and I was just like, look, I ain't ever doing this again. But the thing about panto is like your interaction with the audience, because it's the thing about British pantomime is like in plays and musical theatre you don't really talk to the audience, but pantos you do.
Yeah.
And your panto is like, where's the bad guy, kids?
Yeah, but the fourth wall breaking's always been fun.
Exactly. I mean,
I was the slave in the ring in Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the costume I had for that. I've got photos of that costume. I hated it.
I have to see this.
I started off doing like chorus stuff when I was like 12 or 13. And then we did Aladdin, and then we did Sleeping Beauty, and I was one of the fairies, which I love the costume I had for that. I had this big pink poofy dress.
Nice.
I loved it. But I've done, like, in between all of that, I did, we started doing Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh my god, that one's a fan favourite.
We didn't have enough boys audition for that one, so it changed to Annie, because we had a lot of young girls. And
Were you
so I was playing, like, some of the workers in the mansion, and, like, no, I wasn't Annie. I was too old to be Annie. I was Lily.
God,
I got to play Lily.
Lily's a fun character, though.
And I had this big, long, pink dress, and I loved it. It was... and then I did a couple more, like, they do, like, the Christmas panto they do, and then they maybe do, like, a kind of mid-year spring kind of show.
Sure.
And I started doing them. And we did a play called The Ghost Train, which I talk about all the time. I was 15 when I did this play.
Ghost Train's fun. I think I've done one of those. I think I
think I might have been 14. It was a while ago. But, I played this character, Julia Price, and I got to, like, smash a window and faint off the back of this big table and scream and shout and then point guns at people and, like, I just had the most fun doing that play.
Yeah, so there's no one-dimensional character there. She's doing everything. Screaming, shouting, pointing guns at people.
It
Must
was
be
brilliant.
fun to do.
Yeah, I love it because, like, she goes from, like, spoilers, but, like, she goes from being this hysterical, shouting, like, she's all English and panicky and, like, freaking out about things to you actually
the
find
English
out.
are so panicky.
Yeah, so she goes from freaking out about this ghost train to, you find out in the end that she's actually an American gangster who's been smuggling guns into the country.
Oh my god.
So, I go from being this, like, pathetic wet blanket of, oh my god, everything's been wrong, to put your hands up, and I loved it.
Put your hands up, bitch.
I think that was actually one of my lines.
Put your hands up, fool.
So, I loved that, and I did a play by Noel Coward in 2018. That was the last theatre thing I did before I went to college.
So, sorry, did you say Noel Coward?
Yeah.
I love Noel Coward. My dad started calling me that ever since I started wearing my robe around. It's just like, it's Noel Coward, welcome. And I'm like, fuck off.
So we did the Blithe Spirit in 2018. I had good fun with that one.
So your favourite was Ghost Train?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I would do that again in a heartbeat, that play. As long as you got to play the same character. All of the other female characters are a bit pathetic in that.
Okay, as long as you get to play the same person.
Yes.
Because the others are
Yeah.
shite.
So if you ever plan on putting that play on?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I'm co-writing my first play at the moment.
Oh wow.
Which is so much harder than screenplays and teleplays because TV and film, like, I can whack that out in a week. But
Yeah.
I'm co-writing this play with another guy who's also going to direct it, and it's quite funny because it was the first professional writing gig that I've done because I've just expanded my writing career. So I'm getting paid to do scripts now, which is great because that's income when I'm not doing my musical at the moment.
Awesome.
Which is great. And then I was like, oh, it's a charity play. Fuck. I was like, that means I'm gonna have to be nice and give my check away. So I am giving it to somebody. I don't know which one yet. But yeah, I'm gonna give my first writing check away. Which is the right thing to do. It's charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. But it's a fucking weird play, man. It's called For Goat's Sake because it's I keep saying it's a special ed class. It's not a special ed class. They're just stupid. They're just stupid. And one of the characters brings in a goat to school, and then the teacher is like, "You're not allowed to bring in a goat to school," and they're like, "You have no proof. Show me the rule in the book." And there's no rule about bringing a goat into school. So she's like, "Fuck." Anyway, so halfway through arguing with the teacher about having a goat in, they let go of the goat on the lead, and this goat just roams around this school, and and so the whole play is this group of kids finding the goat. But what I find so funny about writing it is I do a lot of the teacher lines, Jones,
Right.
and I used to work at school as an IT technician, and the odd occasional IT and music and drama teacher.
Right.
So
Wow.
I did that for 2 years, and I was just like, oh my god. Dan is the name of the guy who's co-writing it with me, and I was like, look, Dan, you got to keep all my lines that I write. Look, you can edit it about to make it fit the story that you want, but every Jones line has to be in because I feel so primal on another level with this character. So so this character Jones, and this play is all going to be done by students, so I'm not really going to perform any of the characters, which is gutting, because I really wanted to perform Jones, just because when I was the staff member, oh my god, I felt so exasperated with everyone, and this character, I've written him as myself, and is genuinely the best fucking work I've ever done. It's just like there is one line which is comedic when reading through it and listening to it, but really, really deep when you read into that line, and it's just like,
Oh god.
so it's like one of the kids does something stupid, and this teacher responds, "Yeah, you're gonna be the reason I start drinking again," and it's so when you say it fast, and you guys are gonna be the reason I start drinking again. So it's quite funny when you're acting off of the other kids who are saying the other lines, but when Jones is saying it by herself, it's just like when you read that line, it's just like, oh my god, she had a drink problem. Fuck, which is not that great. So, the next thing I want to talk about is accents, because you can do a few. So,
Oh gosh. Okay.
so let's start with American. Your favorite one to do. Yeah, so you've already spoken a little bit about American accents,
Uh-huh.
but you enjoy them the most. Is it is it because you enjoy them the most, or because you binged watch Scooby Doo? Is it just that you can do them so well because you binge watch Scooby Doo, or because you actually enjoy doing it as well?
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think I enjoy it because it's one I find really easy.
So sorry, what was that?
It's like one I find really easy.
Oh, sure.
It's a bit of like, I enjoy doing it because I find it easy, but also because it's just quite fun to do. Just
Lovely. The fire alarm goes off, and I will probably burn down in the next few minutes. So American accent. It was a mixture of enjoying it and binge watching Scooby Doo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you? I mean, when you first started doing it, did you ever think that your American accent was good or bad or shitty American? Like,
I don't ever really remember thinking because I never got drama when I was in primary school, so I never really had. It was high school when I first started doing it.
sure.
But again, it was never I never got the chance to really. I think I'd sit and I've got a younger sister, and we'd play like Barbies and stuff, and kind of just instinctively with that kind of thing, you do an American accent, and so
Oh my god.
I think just through just practice, I think I've just developed it.
Really
I wouldn't say it's the
stereotypical
best.
shit with American
Yeah,
accent.
it's just so stereotypical. I got quite good at a southern accent. I probably couldn't do it on the fly. But I got quite good at a southern accent as well.
God. What? Oh, I want to hear this now. I'll make you do it in the show eventually.
Oh no, I probably can't. I need to
Catch up on some southern lessons.
just I don't. Yeah.
That's gotten you flustered. That's gotten you
It
flustered.
it was just something that I just always did.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh no.
Oh no, I've made you blush. I like that. Anyway, so American. Yeah, no, I mean, American accent was probably the second accent I learnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did
Irish
the English
being
one first because, of course,
English.
I
Of
live
course,
here
yeah.
now. And to stop myself from being bullied, I developed an accent like theirs and
Yeah.
beat them at their own game. You bastards. I mean, you bastards.
Bloody English.
You bastards. You English bastards. Yeah. Anyway, so I did American first, but oh man, I always refer to it whenever I'm telling someone I can do the accent. It's like it's always last on the list. It's just like I can do Scottish, English, Irish, Queen's English, RP, or shitty American, and it's just like. What's shitty American?
Yeah.
And it's like really shit American,
Shitty American.
accent. Shitty American. It's a really shit American accent. And it just it's not that great. But I can still try and pull it off occasionally, like, oh my god. It's just fucking Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I do. I find sometimes I just say things and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god! And they don't pronounce the same way we do with a lot of words. It's like the letter T, for example. If you're saying, I mean, I don't say it with a Scottish accent either. I say Peter, but if you said Peter in an English accent, they say Peter with a D, and it's like in Scotland, I skip it out altogether. I'm like, Peter.
Peter.
But,
Yeah,
But yeah, no, so they pronounce it very differently, and it's like, oh my god. I remember having my first ever job where I did an American accent, and it was for an animation, and one of the characters is like, oh my god, I just can't get Peter to put any menace into the part. In contrast to the English accent where, oh my god, I can't get Peter to put any menace into the part. And it's just like,
yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so pronounced so differently, and it's like Peter, and it's just, oh man, it's crazy.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah. Yeah, I did School of Rock was our school musical a couple of years ago, 2017. I think we did that. Oh, it was brilliant. So I was Patty in that, and
So sorry, you were who?
I was Patty. I was the girlfriend.
Oh right, yeah, for sure. Patty.
Yeah, so I had a song I had to sing for that, and I think
Give
just
up your dreams.
instinctively. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And
I fucking love School of Rock. That I give that 90% giving me my motivation bags, and then 10% of my ex, and it's. She took me to go and see School of Rock, and I was just like, in that period of time, at the time, I had been focusing too much on writing scripts, on doing plays, and focusing on acting, because I was like, that's where I'm going to get, the most work. But then seeing that musical, I was just like, man, I had a life-changing experience, and honestly, it was just like, yeah, the music was so powerful, and I kind of, I related to Principal Mullins in a way, because she sings the where did the rock go? I felt so like that, and I started off as a musician playing piano and drums, and then I started singing, and then I did musical theatre, and then I suddenly found nothing musical related in my life at that time. So I was like, oh shit, I need to get my act together. And then, I'm working on a music album at the moment of covers with some pals. I've done the musical episode of Protectors of Time. I was I was 1 week left of my musical before we got locked down. I'm doing a lot of musical things now, which is great because I needed that back in my life. So I give 90% of the award to the show. I'm like, you guys have, you gave me that passion back again. And I suppose my ex has to have some recognition in there, so she gives the other. Bitch, I never liked her anyway. I'm joking. I always say that. Bitch, I never liked you anyway. No, I'm just bitter. Oh man, I'm gonna stab myself. Yeah, no, I love School of Rock, 100%, and I love the fact that because it's a musical on stage rather than the musical film. I mean, I love the film 100%, but that musical it gave me my passion back again, so I have to say that I prefer the musical at the moment. And the
music's great.
Yeah, man, and because it's a musical, there's so much more songs in it, because the film has to be a film as well, whereas this is just, more songs, and oh man, I love all the songs. It's great.
I know. I think it was toured in the UK.
I saw it in London about what? Oh god, it was over 6 months ago, because that's that's how long I've been single. I don't know. It was probably March last year that I saw it.
Right. Because I'm sure I'd seen it advertised. It was supposed to be at the King's Theatre in Glasgow. And I was going to go with my flatmate and see it.
Yeah.
And, but we never got the chance, obviously, because of this.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I love that musical.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I like. Oh man, I when I went to see it, it was on in London, in a place called Drury Lane, and I was like, oh my god, the Muffin Man's coming to the show. I am such a giant 5-year-old. So, speaking about School of Rock, I'm gonna pick your brain. What was your favourite song from the musical?
Oh, God, I'd have to go. Actually, I'm going to have a look at
The song list. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look at the song list because I don't honestly remember. See, I had a slightly different song. One that's in the
Show. Yeah.
in like the the West End, Broadway, whatever it was.
Yeah,
musical.
I'm assuming they cut it short for smaller performances or whatever.
The school performance. Right, let's see if we can find this here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely have to say that mine.
I always loved Stick It to the Man.
Oh, stick it to the man.
Stick It to the Man was always, yeah.
Oh, I love Stick It to the Man.
My friend played, I don't remember her name now. One of the kids she played, that's really bad, isn't it? She played one of the kids, but she's got like such a beautiful voice.
It's not Summer, is it?
And like I love the songs that she sung.
Fair enough. Oh, I mean...
If Only You Would Listen, that was her song. If Only You Would Listen, like she's part of that.
Listen. That was,
Yeah, so
that was done by the, one of the girls and then the two boys, wasn't it? I love that song. That was really deep and moving.
Yeah, she was the one that was originally, she was made to be, like crew kind of thing. I think,
yeah, she was supposed to be like security, and then she was like, "No, I'm a singer, man."
She's a singer, yeah. So
I'm a singer. You gotta show me if you could sing, and then she sang.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fucking love all of them. Yeah, no, my favourite is definitely Where Did the Rock Go, though. Yeah, that I felt that on a primal level. Yeah, 100%. Where did the rock go?
I liked Dewey's Confession. I got to be part of that one as well when we come in and he's like, he's not even a real teacher.
Oh yeah, that was.
I love that.
I would have loved that in the film as well. I would have loved to see Jack Black perform that. That would have been funny.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a lot of fun with that one, but yeah.
Oh my God.
Those ones are definitely.
Oh, what else did I love? Oh man. I don't know. I loved most of them. I found the one done by the other band. I can't remember, but it's I'm Too Hard for You. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the name of the band.
Yeah.
And not a lot. I found a keychain that was it was just like a heart. But it had like no vacancy written in the middle of it.
Oh, no vacancy,
I have to buy it. So I have that kicking about somewhere.
Yeah, I've got the I've got my I've got something. I don't remember what I got. I don't know. Can't remember. I was so tempted to buy the teddy bear with the School of Rock shirt. My giant kid. So American. What's yeah? So eventually down the line, you will be using an English accent on the show. How was developing that voice? How was learning your way through the world of England? You bastards.
Well, England.
Oh man, I've got to do that voice on the show every week.
So I was born in English. My vowel sounds are quite English.
Yeah, sure.
So I say things like vowel sound.
Yeah, no, I get you.
One that was I struggle with a bit more.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, when I first came over here and started doing the English accent, I had a lot of trouble with stuff like moon and spoon, because I would always say moon and spoon, whereas down in England you have to say moon and spoon. And I remember there was a film that I did where the scriptwriter simply made it a nightmare for me because they knew I couldn't pronounce those words, and they simply made a script with like a full monologue with all the words moon, spoon, whatever, and I was just like, ooh, you bastard. But it taught me how to pronounce those words, so I guess he did his job.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so bastard. Yeah, so Irish. You were supposed to do a play at the moment, weren't you? And that fell through because of Corona. But how's your Irish accent? How did it get? Did you manage to get it right just before performance time?
So we were a day and a half into rehearsals.
Sure.
So like from final or anything, but it was still like the piece that I Mark Bailey.
Nope, she disappeared from the camera. Oh, she returns.
Hearing that, so it was this play called Pomo.
Oh right, cool.
And it's so heavily movement based that there was a lot of work.
Sure.
Because college was cancelled.
Yeah, it must have been gutting to.
I think by the time it was cancelled.
Yeah, it must have been gutting to hear that it was lockdown. Everything was fucked. Like, yeah, you had to dip, go home. It was.
We were about 9 out of 30, I think, into blocking it, but still, like, it was so heartbreaking to finish that.
Yeah, that's one thing when you're starting the show. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. Yeah, and I definitely felt pissed with mine because I was 1 week from leaving the show. I had 1 week's performances left, and I'm still contractually obliged to go back and do that 1 week when lockdown is released, and I have to go back and do that, which is I'll enjoy it, but it's a bit annoying because I plan to do a film at that time. So gutted. Yeah, bit of a pain. But yeah, no. So what was it like? I'm not sure how far you got along in the process of it, but how was your Irish accent? How did it go? Did you manage to get anywhere?
I mean, we didn't. So what's weird about this play is that there's no like set characters. I don't know if you can see
right
there's no set characters at all, so it's all just dialogue. So we had
that's odd.
So we spent a long time. Our teacher spent ages dividing up the lines for 4 of us, and then we spent a lot of time talking about it before we actually started doing the movement stuff. Like, she obviously has all the ideas in her head.
Sure.
But she's like, this is the kind of vibe I get of this character, and this character's more this. They're all artists. So she's like,
yeah, 100%.
Like, industrial style, and this one's quite like creepy nature kind of thing. And this is the accent I want for this one, and so we spent a lot of time talking about it and that sort of stuff.
Fair enough.
But getting into like the way that we did the like blocking and stuff for it, we had someone playing a puppet. So yeah, so it essentially all the whole thing is. I love theatre. We had the character was going to be in like a complete morph suit, so there were like a complete blank, like no lines. And there was going to be like a lot of lift work and supporting and that kind of stuff that was going to be in it, which I was really looking forward to, but
I love shows like that. Just oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Fucking yeah. Well, perhaps I'll try and get you to do an Irish accent in the show at some stage.
Well, this one's not Irish. No. That was the other play because we were doing 2 plays.
Well, the Irish one. The Irish one. We'll try and get you to do that. We'll go to the pub for a pint, and then I'll be like, right, you got to do an Irish accent now, and you'll turn around and shit me, I'm sure.
No, so there was 2 groups of us. So there was another cast for doing the Lieutenant of Edishmore.
So you weren't doing the Irish one?
No, so I'm not doing the Irish one.
God damn it.
I know, see?
Oh man, I would have loved to meet you do Irish for a character. I think I'm doing Irish in the show. I don't really get to do my Irish that much. I do it for a musical called Once, which is about a Dublin busker, and I play and sing in an Irish accent for that. But I don't think I've done an Irish accent for anything else apart from that musical, which I've done like 3 or 4 times. But I am doing an Irish accent in Protectors of Time Season 2 finale, because there is a character who is disguised as another character, and he's got to do a different accent, so nobody knows who he is. And then for most of the episode he does an Irish accent, and he's like, right, cool, I don't know what's going on, and then at the end of the episode he takes off his mask, and he's like, so I have returned, and I'm going to kill you all, and so fun times. So we've talked about American accent, English accent, Irish accent, and now let's do our normal accents.
Yes.
So, do you ever get the chance to do your normal accent in the project? Because in Protectors of Time you haven't yet. You will do in the future.
I've done, when I've been doing theatre shows, I've kind of done for panto and stuff, that's just been my normal accent.
Sure.
But other than that, no.
Not particularly. Fair enough.
I did the Prime of Miss Jean Brodie as my higher exam for drama. I had to do quite broad Scots for that one.
Sure. How did that go?
I loved it. I had a brilliant scene for Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. I had the scene, I don't know if you know the play, the scene between Brodie and Teddy Lloyd.
Sure.
They have an argument, and she smacks him across the face. I can't quite remember at the end. So I got to smack one of the boys in my class and smack him right on the face. I had so much fun with that.
And then afterwards, did he cry? It just oh no.
I still get the occasional message, because I kind of missed, in the heat of the moment, our teacher never let us rehearse the slap.
Oh my god.
So, I think on the day I kind of hit him there.
Oh man. So you get the occasional message of, it still hurts.
Still,
my
that's
god.
one of the closest would be doing that play.
Cool. So that's another thing done. Oh man, poor bloke.
I had to do it when I was in my advanced hire. I had to do it the next year to help. So I did the same scene again and did the exact same thing and missed. The guy.
Man.
it's feel a bit bad.
Crazy. I'm just rearranging some things for a second. So it has come to that time of fan questions. Because I've talked about most of the stuff that I feel we should talk about. So, okay. So I've got a few questions here, quite a few. So most of them are about Rosie. So the first one is from my good pal Hamish Clark. He always seems to be pulling in the same question. And I call him a prick for it because I never want to find out the answer. Because it's always the same thing, and every time it's a pleasant surprise. But yeah, so the question is, it says, what's it like working with yours truly, which is me? And you could say what you want, I won't get offended. It's, I will say that it is mostly voice work, so I mean, we don't really work in person.
No,
but yeah.
It's still like, I think like, you make it really easy.
Oh.
Like, you're just, easy, like you're very clear about what you want and when things are to be in, and I think that helps just...
Oh. Thanks.
Right, I know, so it's good, I like working with you.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Hamish, for repeating the same question every fucking podcast. I always send everyone the same questions. I'm like, yo, please help me out, give some fan questions. And Hamish always, like, he's got a copy and paste thing. He's just like, what do you think of Bash Dinsmore? What do you think of Bash?
Yeah.
So like, fuck off, Hamish. Yeah, prick. No, I love him. Okay, this one is from Edward Tracy. He is the person who gave me my career. So he says, what's it like voicing the character of Rosie Williams, Dr. Rosie Williams, on Protectors of Time?
I enjoy it because it gives me the opportunity to work on the American accent as well.
Sure. Yeah, you do it every fucking week.
I know, I know I say it's one of the stronger ones, but it's still good to have that opportunity to practice
develop it. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's a cool character, so...
She's a badass.
There's no complaints about voicing her.
Nice one. So, next one is from a fellow cast member. This is Lewis Brownlee, who voices Oliver Martin. Do you and Rosie have any similarities?
I don't know. I think the kind of some of the things that she doesn't say is like the whole with the engagement thing, like the whole kind of know what I'm gonna marry. Like that's the kind of thing I would do. Like that bitch.
Love that shit.
I feel like I'm not like
just, will you marry me? No. No. God damn it, bitch ass, but I'm joking.
I feel like there's not any anything that sticks out that I find similar. If I was to sit and think about it for ages, I could maybe go, I can see myself doing that.
Sure.
But
not too much on the surface.
No,
fair enough.
Which I think is good though, because playing
that proves great acting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit different.
This is from who's that from? Oh, it's anonymous. It says, do you prefer theatre acting or any other medium, so film, TV, voice work?
Because I've not done much film, I feel like I can't really I'd love to go into
Don't worry, I'll force you into one of my films later on.
It's not something I've done a massive amount of, So I'd have to do theatre because that's what I've done most of.
Sure.
But I'd love to do film. That's
It's alright. I'll force you into one of mine later on. Next time I'm back in Glasgow, I will make you film. And then you can see if you like it or not. Or just think that I'm a shitty live action director. This one is from fellow cast member who voices Thursday, Jazir Shine, which is odd because he doesn't have social media. What role, if any, has deeply affected you and had an impact on your life? So this includes theatre roles and,
I did, for my advanced hire monologue, I did by David Mamet.
Right.
And I played a character. It's a 2-character play, and it's set in the 90s, and the character I played was called Carol, and it was very much she was very much like a strong kind of female. There was a lot of references to like sexual assault and stuff, and like her, it was like about her fight with that against this powerful male figure, and I feel like that, like, to that exactly, but like a character like that that's like quite strong and like passionate about that sort of thing. I feel like that I connect with because like
Sure.
I want. If that makes sense.
Sure, yeah. So that role, deeply affected you. 2-person play, fucking hell. I haven't done one of those in a while. They are so much hard work. Yeah. I try and do theatre at least once a year, and then I can, brush up on my craft and say that I can still remember lines and stuff. And just, theatre's amazing. I love theatre because when you're on TV and film, they always say the cliche of it's a family, and most of the time it is like that. But I feel like theatre's more close because you're always with each other, like every day, every night for however long you're doing it, and then once a film's over and you're like, oh yeah, we were a family. It's like you always try and work together again, but it doesn't really happen that often. Which is a shame, but I always love theatre, but I try and do it once a year, so don't forget my craft, but it is a hard work. Okay, this is from my buddy James. What's been your favourite project to be a part of?
Up there with my favourite.
I suppose you have a lot of options.
Like everything I do, like I love it for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it's.
I mean, if you don't have a favourite, that's fair enough. I don't specifically have favourites, but yeah. That's what acting is, people. We do it for the passion and the love and occasionally the money. Yes. Oh, this is this is from your TV fiance, Ryan Hemingway. If you could play any other character in Protectors of Time, who would you play? Open bracket. Please say Tom. Close bracket.
If I could play any other character.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are male, so it doesn't really help. But you could play whoever. You could play Jenny. You could play Alex. You could play the evil speedster Carter.
I would like to play the bad guy. I always have fun playing bad. I do like playing bad guys.
Bad guys are always fun.
Sorry, that's not Tom, but
yeah, fuck you, fuck you, Ryan.
Sorry.
Fuck you, Ryan. So bad guy. Okay, so we've got Carter Matthews, who is an evil speedster. You have Malcolm Hunter, who is a skilled martial artist and archer, and you have and a telepath. And you have Damien Thomas, who is Alice's dad, who is a dark sorcerer.
Oh, I see.
Or you could be Alice and say Nora, who's
I was gonna say I could be Nora because she's a badass.
Yeah. say you're Alice. She's
Well, I feel like that's a bit of a cop out answer. Like, oh yeah, she's my pal. I'll play her character.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could be a Kronos, who is a evil time bounty hunter.
Yeah. Any one of the bad guys.
I will say Nora for her, because it probably is her. A dark sorcerer, who wouldn't want to play that? Yes, so thanks Ryan for that. Yeah, no. Don't be disappointed she didn't say you. This is this is from the other female main character, Z, who plays Jenny. Is there a specific role you'd like to do in the future in theatre or TV or film? So, if you've always loved The Tempest and you wanted to be Miranda in The Tempest, or if you've loved Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you want to play Willy Wonka. Like, if you have a specific character in mind. Lady Macbeth.
Like the Hunger Games when I was like growing up.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, so like I had loads of folks say I look like her, but
Jennifer Lawrence, I love that.
I'd love to play. Yeah, Katniss would be up there on the list.
Katniss
that
Everdeen.
That kind of character.
Yeah, she was a bit of a badass, wasn't she? She almost
So,
killed one of those guys with the bow and arrow, didn't she?
yeah.
Just like, watch me, pricks.
Yeah, just that kind of cool.
Badass
women,
Badass.
Katniss would definitely.
Fair enough. This is from myself. I don't even need to look at it. As an actor or an actress, what sort of type of acting would you like to work on next? So like more comedic roles or dramatic scenes or a musical? Like what type of acting would you like to do next?
I'd like to. I can see myself doing comedy. I feel like I quite enjoy that. I've always wanted to be in a horror film.
Oh, I've done 2 horror films. They're good.
I love a horror film. Maybe an action. I'd love to just,
Beat the shit out of someone.
Yeah, go out and do some like fight stuff. I feel like I really enjoy that.
Right, if I do another live action film with some beating up. Oh, actually, that. Yeah, I might have a role for you in the future. Live action role, because I haven't written anything for it yet, because. So you've heard it here first, people. I'm going to tell you a story about my life. I started acting when I was 6, so 2006. And I did theatre for many years, musical theatre and plays. I got my first acting job at 13. I was cast, and 14 was when we filmed it and released the film. And I signed on for 3 movies and made a short film trilogy, and then I re-signed a contract and did another 3 films in the series, so 6 films of the same character, and then I've played that character throughout my own Seiken films, and Protectors of Time will include him in future seasons, like season 3 and 4. So the first character I ever played is Matthew Caldor, who is a sorcerer. And if you can see this necklace,
Yeah.
it's, I hope Edward's not hearing it because he gave me my first role, but I stole this from set. I try and take one thing from each set. I mean,
Why not?
I took this from the Hollow Earth film, and I had to bring it back for the future films. No, I didn't take it until Hollow Earth, the Book of Beasts, because that was the third film in the trilogy. And I was like, right, we've done the trilogy, I'm just gonna take it. And then a year later, he was like, "Oh, we're going to do a sequel trilogy focusing on a younger sorcerer, but we want you as the mentor." And I was like, "Sure, for sure, let's do it." And he was like, "By the way, you don't know where the necklace is, do you?" And I was like, "No." So yeah, I was reprimanded for taking it, but then. And then he took it back, of course, after he made sure that I didn't leave with it around my neck or in my person. So I had to give it back to him physically. So I had a year with it. But then the following birthday, he gave it to me as a gift, which was nice. So yeah, and so I've done this since 2014. This character, and I've played him in I think 6 live action shorts and 5 voice role versions of the character. So I've played him almost near 30 times now. Yeah, and some people say, "Oh my god, you're going to be typecast," and I say, "I don't care because I'm not famous yet." And I probably never will be famous. So it means if I keep getting the job to play this character, I will definitely take it because partially I'm going to get paid for doing this role. So great, and I just love the character. And what's great about this character is it's based off the films that we've done with Matt. His based off of the Hollow Earth book series written by John Barrowman, who I love. Yeah, no, him and his sister wrote a trilogy called the Hollow Earth books, and then they made a sequel trilogy, which is why Ed came back to me and he was like, "Got a sequel trilogy of films," and I was like, "Wait, why?" And they're like, "They've released 3 more books."
Wow.
And I was like, "I thought I was done." Okay, yeah. So I've played this character for years now, and this is part of the character, and I love that. So yeah. So, however, even though I've played him close enough to 25 times, and I think I'm going to play him in Season 3 and Season 4 of Protectors of Time, and then half of Season 5. So that's 2.5 seasons as well as those films and audio films. So he would have been the character that I have had the most time with ever. Which is fun, and I love it, but there's only so much story you can have with these characters, because they've done 6 books, which we've all done. We've done those 2 sequel trilogies of shorts, and now it's time, and then we did audio films based on mine and Ed's own stories, which is probably illegal, because, it's not our character. But we credit John Barrowman and his sister in the based on the books by John and Carol Barrowman. So hopefully we don't get sued. Because I've played him more than 25 times, so I'm going to get killed. Yeah, so you've heard it here first, people. I am now, after my character leaves Protectors of Time, I am writing. Oh well, I'm not writing yet. I've just come up with the idea for it the other day, and I wrote some notes, but I haven't written it because my laptop was dead. And it will be the final film that I ever do with him. which is quite sad for me, because after playing him like 30 times, and one of those times includes 2.5 seasons full of him, like, he is the back of my hand. So, you know, he's been like a James McAvoy split. It's like he's another side of me, and I play that and I write that in and add my own side of the character. And yeah, so I've played him since 2014 and it's 2020 now, so what, 6 years? 6 years, and you know, I've probably played him 30 times, so I'm finally sort of saying to myself that it's time to hang up the jacket, the magic, time to hang it up. But I want to go out with a bang in this character, so I'm doing it live action and not a audio film. It will be live action, and I have no idea how we're going to do the magic effects yet, but we'll come to it. But I am gonna play him one last time, and it will be interesting, I'm sure. The story, I'm not gonna say much, because spoilers, but I'm definitely gonna try and get Alice involved for a couple of live action scenes, because so I've added her character to a Seiken film, which is one of the characters wants something to happen to another character and they need magic to help them. So they come to us, get me and Nora, and take us to their team and sort of help them. And something happens to Nora and Matt during the film, which crosses over into the Protectors of Time, which leads to why both of them leave halfway through season 5.
Right.
Anyway, so I want her to be part of the film for like a couple of scenes. But I am sure that I've got a role for you, which might be a villain. An evil sorceress. So yeah, you might end up. Playing
a bad guy.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting to. I mean, taking over your podcast episode with my stories. So I've got a role for you in mind, live action, evil sorceress. And next time in Glasgow, we'll film those scenes. And yeah, it'll be fun, and you know, we'll find some, you know, field or, you know, a wood probably to film some stuff in where I'm thrown against trees and shit, and you're just gonna be like, bitch. So you get to do some badass stuff. Yeah, and it will be sad because it will be an end to the character and an era of my life, my acting life. But what's sad about it is that even though there are other people who are magic, like Nora and her dad, there's only one character in the world that I've created who has the power of resurrection, and that is my character. So, with me gone, no one can bring me back. And the only way that I can really give myself justice in terms of the character is to have me killed off, because if I just leave, if I just give up, I don't think that would be good for the character, just giving up and leaving forever. Like, he's got to have a sacrifice, and he's got to die, unfortunately. Which would be heartbreaking for me because I'm already getting teary-eyed. Man. Start talking about my final film in Matt Calder and start crying on air. Fuck me. yeah, so that'll be my final film with him. So you heard it here first, people. Yeah, sad times for me. Anyway, I just had that thought of, ooh, you could be the evil villain who might end up killing me. Yeah, I'm not going to be very happy with you in Protectors of Time after that, though, am I? I'm going to be like, you killed me, you bastard.
You take it out on my character and protect us.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're the the change that you go through will remain into the seasons after. So I'm gonna take it out on her, and I'll be like, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. Yeah, yeah, because I'm dead, and Nora will come back to the ship maybe, and tell everyone I'm dead, and then I will take it out on you. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not that evil. But yeah, at that stage, I might not even be in the show anymore. Because I'll be like, I've run out of different versions of myself to play, and I've done everything, so I might pass showrunner onto someone else. And force them to keep it running. And then I can focus on other things. But yeah, so, oh man, thinking of the future already. Bloody hell.
Wow.
I am definitely going to hold on to playing Matt for a few more years, though. In the show and in films.
Yeah.
And then my final thing will be so sad. Oh my god. So, moving on to the next question. So I don't cry myself to the end of this podcast. Yeah, so what actors and actresses, and, you know, writers and directors and all that, do you take inspiration from? This is from, oh, Harry. It's from Harry.
Do you know, I've never really...
Nobody!
See, like, I've never really looked at it as, like, I've got favourite actors and actresses and stuff, but, like, I never want to...
It's not that you want to copy people with inspiration.
Yeah,
it's just, you know, you're inspired by that particular character and you want to do justice. So, like, for example, with me, it's John Barrowman and James McAvoy.
Of course,
fucking love them, and they're just great character actors, and they do different people, and, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, so I take influence from them, and with James McAvoy, he does other voices, so I try and do that. And then with John Barrowman, he plays cool characters, and I try and make that happen.
I know. Do you know, no, I don't think there's ever... I've never really thought about that. You know, there's people I'd love to work with, but...
Is one of them me?
Yeah,
of course! I want to kill you.
But yeah, I've never particularly thought, you know, like I'm inspired, but that sounds really bad, doesn't it? But like I've never really...
Yeah, it's not that bad. You just want to make things your own thing, which is fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you can take inspiration from people, but you don't have to. Yeah. You know who I want to see you act with in live action, though? I want to see you live act with your TV fiance, with Ryan, because he's mainly a voice actor. He's not really live action, but he's done a couple of stuff for me. But yeah, I would love to see him live act with you. I really want to see that fiance, the proposing scene, reenacted in live action. Man, I would be sitting with the director's monitor and I'd be like, let's do this. Be like, would you marry me? No. I would be pissing myself. My god. Oh man. Ryan, if you're on the lookout, please become a live action actor. Okay, you got two more questions. One is from myself, which I'll save till last. But the other one is, where do you want to take this career of acting? and that is from my pal Henry.
Right. Well, I'd love to go into film and television. I think is
That's where the money is at.
yeah.
Theatre, you don't get paid shit. As much as I love it, and as much as it's great about building craft and skill, that's the only reason I do it once a year and not more, because money's dry.
Yeah, of course. I think film and television would be like a big one. I'd love to do that. That's kind of always what I wanted to do. But like, I'd love to kind of stick with theatre and stuff. Like, I'd never say no to that completely. Because it's that's where I started, and I do really enjoy it.
Ooh, 2 hour mark. Way.
I know that's what everyone says, isn't it? Film and television. I want to be in.
I want to be in film and TV because I want to be famous, and
I want to be famous. No, but like.
But yeah, no, it's just another medium to do, and I enjoy it, but it's about the money as well. So.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final one is from yours truly. And that is, why do we do it? Why do we want to do it? Like, I've said this to my last podcast, and I was like, why do we do it, boys? Why do we put ourselves through so much hard work and depression and anxiety, and I've got that from this job. And why do we put ourselves through it when you get denied more than not? I've been turned away from jobs more than I've gotten jobs.
Yeah, I guess,
which is why I have to make my own shit.
I guess we just really hate ourselves.
Oh yeah, of course, 100%. I hate myself. That's it. I hate myself.
Yeah, we hate ourselves.
Oh yeah, we love each other. We're all good mates. We're all family, but we hate ourselves.
We hate ourselves.
Oh, you've killed me there. Oh man. I think a mate of mine said that once. They were like, because we hate ourselves. I was like, fucking hell, John, are you that dark? But then I was like, oh my god, I do. Occasionally. Yeah, no. So why do you do it? Why do you want to act? Is it just passion? Is it just the love of the craft? Is it because you want to try and be famous? Is it you want the monies? Like what is it?
I feel like a lot of it. I think I'd like to be like, oh, it's the passion, and it is mostly. I love it, and I love what I do. I suppose as well, it's a confidence thing. It's like
I ain't good at anything else, so.
Yeah, I struggled really, really bad when I was in school with like public speaking and stuff, which sounds really silly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Most actors are like that, to be honest. They hate it, and then once they learn to do it, they're like, oh sweet, I'm an actor now.
So like that ability to like get up on a stage and like perform in front of like 200, 300 people.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like it's that feeling of like I can actually do this.
Yeah.
And like,
oh my god, yeah. Like, bitch, shut up! I'm talking. Oh my god.
I'm good. I can do this. And it's like I suppose like having people go, oh my god, like you did so well in this, like it was so good. Like that's another thing as well. That
oh my god, I have to say something on that because I think I've said it before on my show. But yeah, no, the first. The second play I ever did. So the first one I ever did was Treasure Island. I was Black Dog. The second one I did was what was it? Oh, it was Macbeth, of course. And that one I played Macduff. And I always try and play Macduff because you rarely ever get a character that kills the title character.
Yeah.
He kills Macbeth. Like, that's mad. It should be called Macduff. Anyway, so I was doing that, and one of the there was a group of kids who came to see it at the performance, and one of the cool kids in the higher years at school walked past me and was like, "You were really great in that role," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And
I know.
and it was, but it got to me because, you know, especially after the accent thing, in terms of, you know, people trying to make me English. So I was like, oh my god, they like me when I'm not myself. Okay, great.
Well, that as well is it's, I've always seen it as a kind of escapism.
Yeah, it's escape. Yeah.
You can.
Same with writing for me. Like, you can focus on those characters in this world, and then you don't have to focus on your own life. And then when I'm done with it, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, no, it's an escape, isn't it?
Problems and stuff behind for a bit while you're playing this character.
Oh my god, yeah.
I suppose meeting people and like doing that kind of thing as well is the reason.
Oh yeah, I love meeting new people on these projects, and I always 100% try and work with at least one person on each project again in the future. So, you know, I've done certain films that when I've done my own stuff, that I've brought them onto my things because I said I would always work with you again, and now I have. So yeah, I love stuff like that, but I always try and keep in contact with at least one person on cast. Yeah. And that, my friend, is it. Yeah, no, that is all we have time for today. At 2 hours 6 minutes, we we are done with life. We are done. We've talked about the topics that I wanted to get done. We've covered. I've done an intro. We talked about how we met. We talked about Protected Time, acting in general, theatre, accents, GLA, fan questions, and you know, we've covered a lot. 2 hours, my god.
I know. Wow.
So I want to say thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's always a pleasure. I love talking to people, which is why I do this, and you know, we get to talk about their projects. So before we go, I must say, plug whatever project you plan to be doing next. If you've got a play, or if you're writing things, or you know, if you plan to do whatever. Also, people should go and watch the first half of Protectors of Time Season 1 so far. You can catch her as Rosie in that. And Captain Baxter. You play Captain Baxter as well.
Occasionally, yes.
Who is a cool character. She was a bitch to me in that episode. Man, that's not been released yet, actually. That's the next one to be released. When hiatus is over, because I want to get the final ones edited and sorted, and then I can release them when I want. No, you're a bitch to me in that episode. And then you kill me as Matthew in the future. So, your life is going to be a living hell from now. I'm joking. I'm joking. So if you've got anything you want to plug?
I don't think I do. I would have said if you're in Glasgow, come and see Pool and Water at Glasgow Catholic College, but that's not happening anymore.
Fair enough. Well, I will say that you are an amazing voice actress, and an amazing person. You're fun. I love chatting to you, so it's nice to do this and put it out there. You've done well, because fucking 20% as I'm about to finish this. Let's judge that. And you've done well in the sense of, you know, you've not said your mum beats you, which is what the guest before my last guest did, and joked that his mother beat him, and then afterwards he was like, don't. He was like, she doesn't, like, relax. I was like, you've put that on air, mate. I'm not editing that podcast. I'm putting it out. And he was like, she will never hear it. I was like, okay. But yes. Oh, yeah. So you haven't said anything like that, which is good. That killed me. Yeah, so the only thing I have to say